Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between ArgosZentih and the STC or oGsTheSTC here on Metalopolis. Now a couple of things to note. I got a new sound card and I'm trying to test it to remove all the crackling. So go ahead and let me know how this particular video sounds. Hopefully all of my sound issues and video quality issues are better now, and just to get those out of the way, we do have STC spawning over here at the 8 o'clock position as the green Terran. Meanwhile, we have Argos spawning over here as the purple Zerg. Now, I haven't cast any games recently with Argos, but I casted one game for SC Legacy right before this, and I gotta say that was an amazing game. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been Argos haters, but watch that game. That was a really fun game to watch and cast, and I'm just constantly impressed by the level of Korean play. A lot of the reasons why you haven't been seeing really a lot of strategies coming in from Zerg recently is or a lot of strategies coming in from Korea recently is the upcoming GSL tournaments that had happened and the qualifiers for it. People had not wanted to give any strategies towards their opponent and try to figure out any new openings. So the reason why you haven't seen that, or in a lot of ladder play, is because of that reason. So I believe after we see the GSL, I think the GSL will be a good indicator in games in terms of game balance, just because a lot of the more refined strategies that the Korean players have been using are now being developed, and you should see them in the next 2 weeks or so. So yeah, that should be pretty interesting. The first game with the Zerg, I must say, gotta watch it, gotta love it. Yeah, just a great game. And now we see this drone going to go ahead and run up this ramp and get sight of this 12 racks. So this 12 racks has now been completed. Upgrade to an orbital command, most likely. There it is. 35 units of time to be completed. Back over here, we do see the hatchery now continuing to just produce larvae, and now we see a spawning pool. That is a late spawning pool because of the early hatchery placed down by Argos. So Argos going for more of an economic build. Back over here, we do have one marine, and now looking over here, we do see a refinery as well. So the refinery is currently gathering up to almost 100 gas, but with only 100 gas, we should probably see some sort of factory coming in shortly. I do not. Oh yeah, the factory now being placed down over here, and in addition to a supply depot over here. So we should be seeing some Hellions. We may even see a reactor being played down. No, it does not look like we're going to see a reactor, as we're currently supply locked. Back over here, we have that hatchery nearing completion. We may see a queen bee transferred over as well, but no queens yet. So no queens for ArgosZentih. Argos deciding to go for that extra hatchery before a queen. Now training a queen on that natural expansion, and not yet training a queen at the main base. But doing a great job with this extractor trick, constantly denying the second gas over here. So it is really going to force a lot of Hellion play and a lot of Marine play. So a second Marine now going to go ahead and join in the fight against this extractor. This extractor, however, now getting canceled and being rebuilt once again. Now that we have 3 Marines, those 3 Marines should be able to shoot it down. I believe 3 Marines have a high enough DPS to actually take down a drone before a drone is able to heal up. And now very nicely done. Oh, splitting away, and now down goes that drone over there. Back over here, we have Zerglings chasing after an SCV. SCV down to 25 hit points, doing a little bit of juke down to 20. Will it be able to find cover under the rifles of a Marine? Not 100% sure, as those Zerglings continuing to juke around, down to 15 hit points. However, we do have some Hellions now moving out, and with that Marine as well, that one Zergling will be able to get sight on this command center over here before, oh, that Hellion missed. So, wow, that Zergling down to 21, 7 hit points, and finally, there it goes, SCV down to 5, pop, there it goes. We do have one Overlord in the air, and now ArgosZentih may lose this Overlord. Catching this Overlord out of position, that's going to be bad for Argos, as he will be supply locked. Now 39 over 36. A second queen being trained at the natural expansion, as we already have one queen at the main base here. Back over here, Marines and Hellions still moving around. We do have an Overlord here and an Overlord here as well. Will anything really come of it, as we have the STC sitting on a fair amount of minerals, 600 minerals at this stage in the game. Now training up siege tanks, not yet researching siege tech. So STC a little bit sloppy, I would say, sitting at 400 minerals this early in the game and not even researching when he has the necessary resources, not laying down any additional production buildings nor supply depots. So that is really an issue. Looking at Argos being a good Zerg player, trying to spend every single mineral that he has in the early game to get that advantage. But now we see an armory now being laid down. Back over here, we do have an Hellion that was able to catch one of those creep tumors. Zerglings may try to do some sort of surround here. Zerglings do not have that metabolic boost research just quite yet. We'll take an additional, what, 8 units a time or 18 units a time. And now that Hellion able to get off a couple, one splash there, down it goes. And now that Hellion able to toast another one. So that Hellion being microed beautifully, and that one Hellion with already 4 kills. So already worth its weight in minerals, as it has killed 4 Zerglings. Back over here, one Overlord here, and now still continuing to mine, and we still see STC sitting on 500 minerals. And finally researching that siege check, but production-wise, level 1 weapons upgrade, siege check, and that is it. Not 100% sure what else he's researching. Finally getting another siege tank as well. And now back looking for that Hellion. No, Zergling's just still running across that map. I believe that Hellion was taken down as Argos able to handle that pressure. Now we are getting the Carapace, so those units or these Overlords will be able to fly much more quickly, be better scouters. Back over here, we still have more bunk or barracks being laid down, so this is going to be a 4 racks build with 1 factory. So it's going to be a lot of Marines and Marauders with some siege tanks as support. Over here, Argos now taking an additional expansion at the high ground location at the 4.5 position. As Zerglings not activating that Zelnaga Watchtower, not quite sure why. One over here activating, and another Zergling here. So Zenith staying on top of the Terran player, trying to make sure that he has more expansions. As Argos still sitting here, will he be able to get a Contaminate off and try to delay any SCV production? Back over here, that Starport now currently nearing completion. Good thing you can't contaminate a building as it's being built. And now that Overlord finally flying away. SCV over here, and now these Overlords moving across the map. ArgosZentih has full control or full site control on this map, knows exactly where oGsTheSTC is at all times, just because of this perfect Overlord placement. Army-wise, we see STC sitting at 650 versus ArgosZentih sitting at 375, but you can bet that Argos will be able to produce a lot of units just because of the sheer number of larvae he has. Now sitting on a lot of larvae production-wise, now getting a lot of infestors. So this is going to be infestor and spires already being built. I do not see attacking the tier 3, but we are getting neural parasite. We do also see some Thors, so those Thors will be able to deal some significant damage and back on those siege tanks and marine friends. Back over here, factory still here, and now Overlord still here. So ArgosZentih has a mental containment on the STC, knowing that he cannot take an expansion without him knowing about it. At this time, I would say ArgosZentih has the advantage, but the longer this game goes, the more I'm not going to be 100% sure what's going to be happening, as we now have a group of Marine siege tanks and 1 Thor ship moving out. So that medevac holding that 1 Thor there. I don't know how that medevac's able to even thrust with that Thor there, or the aerodynamics of it. I'm sure it takes a lot of drag. Perhaps the medevac should move slower when that giant box is underneath you. Back over here, we do have some Zerglings here and some Zerglings here. The Zergling, however, able to gain sight. Siege tanks may be able to blast away. No, not going to be able to blast away, as 1 Marine taking down 1 Zergling there. We do have a group of Zerglings sitting over here, and now production-wise, we are getting the level 2 weapons upgrade and the level 2 weapons upgrade on the infantry. We are also upgrading the Hive Tech. So Hive Tech coming in, we may see some Broodlords. There are 4 Infestors on that high ground. Neuroparasite has already been researched, so that's going to be absolutely brilliant. As an Overlord now suiciding its way in, going to find itself on the wrong side of some longboat missiles, and down it goes. Pop. Back over here, we do have STC now taking the high yield mineral expansion in the center of the map. And meanwhile, that means that ArgosZentih will need to take another expansion as well. The Banelings do not have the centrifugal hooks upgrade just quite yet. Still will take a little bit of time looking for that Banelings nest right here. And yeah, it's going to take an additional 40 units of time to be completed. Back over here, Marines stimming and now getting healed back up by that medevac. But I really like this play by STC so far. STC now getting these siege tanks and trying to protect this natural expansion. But the high mobility of ArgosZentih will soon be realized, as he is now getting an Ultralisk Cavern and getting the Nidus Network. The Nidus Network is going to be absolutely huge, as the Overlord placement on this map is already crazy. Back over here, we now have some Mutalisk in the air. Mutalisk with that magic box technique can take down that 1 Thor. And there is one Thor sitting there. And are these Mutalisks gonna, yeah, they're gonna run into a group of Marines and quickly get shot down out of the sky. Back over here, more medevacs coming in. Mutalisks not quite sure what they're gonna do, as now we also have another Overlord here, just raining some creep down onto this position and now upgrading to a planetary fortress. One Marine, oh, that one Marine sacrificing himself to kill 2 banelings, so I think that is worth it. Back over here, the Thor ship now moving around, as there is one refinery here, siege tanks down over here on the low ground, and now Argos taking up another expansion, so it's going to be 4 bases versus 3, but STC taking a gold mineral patch. Back over here, we still have more Marines being trained up. Marines are upgraded 2-0. Personal cloaking now being researched along with a training of some ghosts. So those ghosts are going to be absolutely huge as well as SCVs now move out. Back over here, we do have a group of Mutalisks, but those group of Mutalisks are very low on hit points. So 2 of them are in the red or yellow, and now we do have a Nidus network, and that Nidus network was taken down. So that Nidus network taken down by Marines and SCVs, that we will not see any sort of worm play coming in anytime soon. We do have a hatchery now being laid down, so it looks as though ArgosZentih now going into more hatchery, and we see training of Corruptors and the Greater Spire. So we are going to see some Broodlord play. Over here, we already have what, a baker's dozen of banelings sitting here. And now, so those Marines will get taken apart. I do not see any Vikings currently being trained. So those Vikings are going to be very, very... without any of those Vikings, those Broodlords should be able to just tear apart the STC's army. However, there is a starport with the reactor to double train Vikings. That's always a very good sign. As Marines once again on the move, we are getting level 3 weapons upgrade for the siege tanks and the Thors. So those Thors will be dealing 18 times 4, what, 64 damage per attack against Mutalisks, which is absolutely huge. Nidus network now here, and now Nidus network spawning out units, and that's gonna start trying to take down the starport. That's gonna be absolutely huge to take down the starport, as that starport is the only thing that can stop those Broodlords. Now we also see the starport now taking some damage. SCVs taking some damage as well. Thor ship now coming into play, and we also have an Infestor. So that Infestor will be able to get off a fungal growth. Are we gonna get a neuroparasite off? That is going to be absolutely huge. Are we going to get a fungal growth? Are we going to get it? Yeah, there's the fungal growth. There's the neuroparasite. And that Thor now racking up those kills. But however, Marines coming in to take down more damage. Another neuroparasite. More, those Thors able to deal so much damage though. And another neuroparasite coming in. That Thor just racking up those kills. Continuing to take down more and more of those units. Marines fighting the back. However, the timing on this will be over in just a second. Down it goes. One Infestor left. But the damage has been done. Wow, greatly done so far as Argos. Now, that's all that's left over here. And now this starport may get destroyed. There is still one Infestor. Not quite sure. That is a very, very expensive unit to leave. Are we going to get a burrow or is any sort of action? No. No neuroparasite, and down it goes. That was a real shame. Back over here, we do have another Nidus worm already popping up, and I believe the STC has to notice this, but he's not really keeping track of it because there's already creep here. That is absolutely huge. Now Marines trying to come over. Marines gonna come in from both sides, and now this will pop up. Zerglings already coming in and quickly getting taken down. Back over here, we do see a hatchery being laid down here. The starport has been repaired, so that was a huge, huge bonus. But in production-wise, I still do not see any Vikings. We are getting the level 3 Carapace upgrades on those units, and now we have a group of 5 Broodlords in the air. 5 Broodlords, upgraded banelings, and now this is going to be a very, very bad sight for STC. STC going to take a lot of damage. We do have a Ghost. Ghost going to try to snipe, but I do not think the Ghost has enough energy to really snipe down that many units as more Broodlords come in. Siege tanks splashing on top of their own Marines, and that's a horrible, horrible sight as well. But Ghost being used to counter Broodlords. Beautifully done. No detectors there. So wow, Ghost just constantly using snipe to try to take down more and more of those units. Another Broodlord taking down another Ghost here, and another Broodling. There we go. And now another splash damage hit. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between ArgosZentih and the STC here on Metalopolis.